UFC light heavyweight champion Magomed Ankalaev just brutally humiliated Alex Pereira when he confronted him at the UFC PI after Alex Pereira went online and posted a YouTube video saying, Ankalaev is hiding from me. We're going to break it all down in this video. We're going to go through everything. And I have to be honest, looking at everything that's transpired over the past 2 days, I think Magomed Ankalaev has retired Alex Pereira. I think he's ended Alex Pereira's career. And I really don't even see how Alex Pereira can show his face at UFC 320. And I'm still convinced that he's not going to show up and he's going to pull out of this fight. But let's jump into it. We have a lot to check out. We're going to check out the video of the confrontation. Apparently there's more coming tomorrow, but we'll get to that later. Let's jump into Alex Pereira's YouTube channel. A very common theme here. Alex Pereira's YouTube channel. We're going to get to this later. Look at these videos he posted. Hiding like a chump. And then look at the title. Ankalaev is a dog shit UFC champion. UFC 320. Now, granted, these guys are supposed to fight at UFC 320 in the main event, the rematch, because Pereira got dog walked by Ankalaev at UFC 313 earlier this year. We're going to check out 2 clips. One from this video, hiding like a chump, and then what really happened. By the way, the views aren't that good for a former UFC champion that is supposedly a megastar, a massive megastar. But that's besides the point. So basically in this video, Pereira claims that Ankalaev hid from him. Let's take a look at a clip from the video as well as a translation. Listen to this.
Uma coisa até engraçada que aconteceu ali agora, a saída do PI, né? Eu vi ali o treinador do Ankalaev. Eu fiquei ali na minha, mas não vi o Ankalaev. O engraçado foi na hora que eu saí do PI, aí quando eu cheguei no carro, né, um cara do meu time, né, tava lá dentro ainda, né, e viu, tipo, a menina do PI falando pro Ankalaev, pode vir, ele já foi embora já, tipo, porra, escondendo o cara, escondendo o cara na salinha ali, velho. O cara acha que eu vou encontrar ele e vou sair brigando com o cara, velho. Pô, não sou idiota, né, velho.
Mas será que não foi o que ele falou na internet?
Eu não sei o que ele falou, não.
Você, Potan, você está certo, eu não vou ter nenhuma palavra a dizer, porque você vai acabar dormindo depois que ter que trabalhar na mortaria de novo.
É, pode ser, né, tá vendo? O cara fala besteira. Eu nem tinha visto isso aí, velho, de verdade.
Eu tô ligado.
Pô, de verdade, eu segurava o BO, entendeu? Mas o ponto de o cara se esconder numa sala, velho, porque eu tô no mesmo ambiente, velho. Ah, pô, o cara é um frouxo, velho. Esse é um frouxo, pô. Eu vou ficar na minha ali, entendeu? Eu nunca vou, tipo, arrumar uma confusão com o cara, nunca vou chegar. Lógico, a não ser que o cara venha pra cima, tá ligado? Tá, eu tenho que me defender também, né? Mas aí, tipo, pô, que campeão é esse, velho? Que campeão de merda, velho. Aí.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt it. I tried to just let it play. There's so much to unpack here. First off, does anybody believe this for a second? The habitual liar Alex Pereira, which we're going to expose here in a second, is saying that Ankalaev hid from him in a room because he's scared of him. And now at the end of this clip, he's saying he's a shit champion. We'll let it finish out.
Achei a única besteira que eu falei, velho. Mas é um campeão de merda, velho. Um cara desse. Mas sabe por quê? Não pelo que ele fala. Mas hoje tem que se esconder numa sala, né? Velho. Demonstrou que é um cagão, velho. Vamos ver. Vamos ver. Porra, se escondendo agora, mas porra, a gente vai dar na jaula lá, velho. Trancado lá, velho. Não vai ter. A não ser que ele vai pular a grade, velho. Ah, um campeão de merda, um cara desse, velho.
And a little subscribe logo at the end. He's a shit champion. He hid from me. He's a coward. So much to unpack. First off, okay, let's start off. He hid from me at the UFC PI. Somebody told me that somebody said, Pereira's gone, you can come now. There's multiple things there. First off, that could literally be a UFC employee that tries to keep fighters who are fighting each other away from each other in the gym. Because one, if you're fighting a fighter, especially soon, you don't want them to watch you train. And two, you just don't want to risk any conflict at the UFC PI. That is part of their jobs, to keep people separate. Now, that may or may not be true. It might have been someone at the UFC PI just saying, okay, we're going to keep these guys apart and kind of planning it a certain way. But if anyone believes Ankalaev hid in a room to hide from Pereira because he's scared of Pereira's going to do what? I don't know about you guys, but I watched UFC 313. And I saw Alex Pereira land like 2 jabs the entire fight in a phantom 5th-round head kick, according to Joe Rogan. Like Pereira says at the end there, we're going to be locked in the cage. They're going to be there on October 4th, UFC 320. So Ankalaev's scared to see you at the UFC PI where a bunch of people would break you up anyway, but yet you're hiding, but yet this is the guy that fucking outclassed you brutally 6 months prior, and then you ducked him for another 6 months, and finally, supposedly, are going to get in the cage with him at UFC 320. What really drives me nuts about this is Ankalaev was hiding, man. He was hiding. Like you hid from him for years? You ran from him, ducking him, refusing to fight him? The uncrowned champion? You fought Khalil Bumtree instead? Who was hiding then? Who was hiding then? We're going to back up those claims too, because people are going to be like, Joey, you're making that up. It was the UFC's decision. This guy is a liar. And right on the surface, as soon as I saw this, I call bullshit. Flat out bullshit. Ankalaev's not hiding from him. It makes 0 sense. Why would he want to fight him before he gets in the cage with him anyway? Why would he hide from him? Because he's scared he's going to do what? I mean, they were locked into in a cage with each other for 25 minutes and Pereira didn't do jack shit. And then at the end, to call him a shit champion, when you sat around fighting guys coming back from catastrophic injuries on short notice, and then the number 8 guy in the division instead of him, and then when you finally had to fight him, you forced him to fight during Ramadan and you got your ass whooped. Now you're getting an undeserved rematch because you beat up a bunch of guys who came in on short notice, catastrophic injuries. You're getting that rematch because you had a legacy at light heavyweight. Now you're saying he's hiding from you? And I know some people are going to be like, Joey, habitual liar? Alex Pereira, a liar? Well, luckily, we have some evidence to back that up. And also, this is going to support my claim that Ankalaev is retiring this dude. Let's check out a tweet from Alex Pereira's Twitter from back in May. I always answered UFC's calls, but if they want to play with me, we can do that. I've never spoken poorly of the UFC, but with what I've just heard, I'm disheartened. I've already had thoughts of not fighting anymore, and after what was just relayed to me, this may be the start. Pereira was so upset with the UFC he may retire. He's already had thoughts of not fighting. As soon as this came out, I said, oh, Pereira didn't want Ankalaev at International Fight Week. They scrambled for a main event for UFC 317. So they offered Yuri the fight. Yuri turned it down too. They offered multiple light heavyweights a title shot against Ankalaev because Ankalaev wanted to stay busy. Everyone turned him down, including Pereira. So Ankalaev now didn't have an opponent there. He had to wait until October for Pereira. But Pereira was pissed that Yuri got offered a title shot when he deserves the rematch. But what did he do right after this? He put this out. He put this hostage video out. And I'm not going to play the entire video, but Alex Pereira says he was hacked and didn't tweet out the message hinting at retirement due to problems with the UFC. Which I told you guys right then and there. A lot of people did. I'm not taking a victory lap here. I could take a little bit of a victory lap. People called me dumb at the time, but not everyone. I said this was horseshit. You're literally mentally disabled if you believe this. This was 100% Pereira's tweet. Well, luckily, a couple weeks ago, Pereira did an interview. This was 3 weeks ago with Ariel Helwani, Mr. Shama Boy, Shama Lover, Mr. Shoot the arrows out of his back and whatnot. Ariel Helwani when he's making predictions. And he cleared it all up. Were you hacked? Were you not hacked? Was it your tweet? Was it not your tweet? Let's get to the bottom of this. Because Pereira definitely always tells the truth, right? Right?
Algumas coisas e tal, mas, pô, foi pouco de falta de comunicação.
So a little bit was miscommunication because Alex kind of found out through social media, stuff like that, and he was upset back then. That's why he sent a Twitter. But he regret he was wrong because he didn't know talks that was going on, anything that was going on. So it was kind of miscommunication between camp manager and the UFC. It's not UFC's fault. So, and then later, like, he just got this fight going on, and that's what matters for him.
Okay. So
Of course, somehow, this isn't centered. Let me see if this works. There you go. Either way, you get the point. You get the point. He sent out the tweet and then claimed he was hacked afterwards because he didn't want the UFC to be upset with him. So he lied. Anyway, let's check out the second video, okay? Because again, there's two videos. This one hiding like a chump. Then what really happened here? And this is a clip from the second video we're going to take a look at. Listen to this.
O cara fala para dessa, fica se escondendo, velho. É um cuzão, velho, cara, velho. Porra, velho. Um frouxo, velho. Ele ficou olhando, tipo assim. Será que ele tá com raiva? Será que ele não tá? E eu só na minha, não falei nada, aí ele não saiu da salinha. Mas se eu tivesse cumprimentado, ou tivesse balançado a cabeça pra ele fala, ei, Ankalaev, você pode sair, pode andar de boa com a gente. Não vai ter briga, não. Mano, se eu for querer um dia fazer isso, brigar com alguém, velho, você acha que eu falo, vou bater nesse cara? Tá? Eu nem falo, velho. Eu nem falo, tá ligado? Eu só deixo. Não é que vim cumprimento o Globo, cumprimenta você, pá, se eu quero, porra, eu quero pegar, é ali mesmo, toma, receba. Já era. Os caras ficam falando, sabe que os parceiros não vai deixar, tá ligado? Claro. E aí fica assim, me segura, senão, porra, me segura, senão eu mato, me segura, tá ligado? Porra, isso não existe, velho. Se eu quero fazer a parada, velho, porra, eu só fico quieto.
If he's going to do something, he's not going to talk about it, which this is hilarious when I show you the new confrontation they got into because Magomed Ankalaev pressed him, rolled up on him, and embarrassed him. We're going to get to that in a second. Pereira's kind of dispelling his own point from the day before. Like, nobody's going to let you guys fight, so why would he be nervous for you to fight him in a situation that you're not actually going to fight him? And on top of that, why would he be worried about you fighting him considering he already whooped you like a dog 6 months prior? And now you're 6 months older. And you couldn't do anything to him when you were locked in a cage together. But he'll just keep quiet. Remember that. I want you guys to remember that. He'll just keep quiet if he was going to do something and get into a fight and hit Ankalaev or swing on Ankalaev or whatever he's implying that he would do. Anyway, we're going to get to the other confrontation in a second. So the next thing we have is Magomed Ankalaev tweeting out, this clown who I'm fighting said I'm hiding from him. I'm giving him a rematch and he should be very grateful. I whooped him for 5 rounds and did everything I wanted to him during the fight. Let's focus on fighting and not trash talking. There you go. I mean, couldn't have said it any better myself, Big Ank. He already whooped him for 5 rounds. Why would he be in any way, shape, or form scared? It just makes absolutely no sense to me. Let's focus on fighting, not trash talking, which is essentially what he told Pereira to his face, which we're going to get to in a second. The next thing I want to show you, Ankalaev posting this after Ankalaev talking mad shit online, and this is what he has to post on Instagram now. This is very bizarre and actually hilarious because he's implying this guy is Ankalaev when really this is him. So it makes sense for the fight, but it's really making him look bad. So a lot of talk, and then when they were close together, no talk. Essentially is what he's trying to say. Anyway, let's skip ahead. I want to show you guys something else. Because it's annoying to me that he's acting like Ankalaev's a shit champion, and a lot of the Shama lovers and the Pereira dick riders and fanboys, pretty soon they're going to be riding the narrative that Ankalaev's inactive. Ankalaev tried to fight him for months here. Again, this is months ago. This is 4 or 5 months ago. And Ankalaev said, the only thing that was hacked is Alex Pereira. He's not the champion anymore. I'm waiting for you. Don't worry. I was offered to fight Alex International Fight Week. If the man don't want it, let's move on. I'm ready for everyone. I dare you. Now, you could say, oh, Joey, well, he's talking online. Well, first off, this was months ago. And is this really talking shit? I really don't get how he's just speaking facts. I want to fight him, and he's not fighting me. And there's a little bit more, but it's really nothing substantial. Up until now, what I showed you guys earlier from today which I'm scrolling through the entirety of July. But what I already showed you, this clown who I'm fighting said I'm hiding from him. I'm giving him a rematch. And he should be very grateful. I whooped him for 5 rounds and did everything I wanted to him during the fight. I did everything I wanted to him. Pause. Okay. And then now he's tweeted out, this guy's been knocked out 3 times in his career. I've never been knocked down. This time I will give him a 4th knockout. End of story. And then he reposted some stuff. Don't talk too much. One way to the tire shop after this fight. Then he's talking about Dean Thomas. So it's not like you go through here. It's not like he was talking mad shit online. His last tweet was July 22nd. And this was the tweet. I mean, you guys can see for yourself. You can say it's trash talking, but it's really not much of anything other than speaking facts. And I just find it insane that now Pereira is calling him a shit champion for supposedly hiding, but also a coward. And I just think it's really rich coming from Pereira, who you look at his resume, which is massively overrated, and somehow it's not lined up. You got to be kidding me. Let's just move it over. Let's just move on. You have Pereira, who basically did everything in his power to duck Magomed Ankalaev. He fought number 8 Khalil Roundtree, who arguably just lost to Dustin Jacoby, instead of Magomed Ankalaev. He fought Yuri on short notice instead of giving Ankalaev his title shot. Okay? He fought Jamal Hill, and again, I don't blame him for necessarily these 2 fights, but I'm just saying, everything in his power not to fight Ankalaev. Now, part of that's the UFC's fault as well. But you know who also admitted to not wanting to fight Ankalaev and trying to deny a man of his title shot that he earned for years? We have Alex Pereira saying that. Listen to this.
Man, I don't have nobody in my mind. The organization came with Khalil last time and was a surprise for me too. I don't really choose opponents. Some people say Ankalaev, but gonna be honest with you, him and his manager been talking a lot of crap, saying that Alex don't want to fight this and that, but the reality is the organization don't want him to fight because he's boring. People don't like to watch him fight. Right?
If you think Magomed Ankalaev is boring, you are a fucking casual. And the fact that Pereira was even willing to entertain this propaganda showed me all I needed to know about him not wanting to fight Ankalaev. But let's continue.
He's not the guy that sells pay-per-view. So, honestly, like, that's disrespectful. They try to put the ball on me. Like I'm saying, like if I'm Alex, right? If putting the ball on me, because it's not up to me, it's up to the organization. The organization don't want to make the fight.
Listen very carefully at this last statement.
But now because they keep saying that, keep disrespecting, maybe I'll make it even harder for them to fight me.
I'll make it even harder for him to fight. And you had Ankalaev, who had to sit around and basically grovel for a title shot that he rightfully earned because he beat Jan Blachowicz for the title back at UFC 282 in December of 2022. Otherwise, Pereira would have never been champion. Went on this crazy long unbeaten streak, finally gets his opportunity, is forced to fight during Ramadan, which Pereira and the UFC intentionally did to put him at a disadvantage because they wanted Pereira to win. They wanted to give Pereira an advantage. Pereira demanded Ramadan. Pereira now demanded Las Vegas for UFC 320, by the way, if you didn't know. And then Ankalaev went out there and embarrassed him anyway. Now, after Pereira puts out these videos where he's claiming Ankalaev hid from me, Ankalaev's a coward, Ankalaev's scared of me, we have a couple clips from the videos of Magomed Ankalaev, who found Pereira the next day and went up and confronted him. Watch this clip. Who dropped this clip? I want you to watch this clip very carefully. It's only a 10-second clip. Alex Pereira dropped this clip. Watch it very carefully here.
Eu vou bater em você. Vou bater de mão aberta na sua cara.
Watch right here. There's I mean, this is a 10-second clip. I mean, I could talk about this for 2.5 hours. First off, tomorrow on YouTube, he dropped a teaser for this. He is obviously trying to promote his YouTube channel. Put that together with I've never spoken poorly of the UFC, but with what I've heard, I'm disheartened. I've already had thoughts of not fighting anymore. And now we get the teaser tomorrow on YouTube. By the way, is this not funny? I don't know if Pereira's super low IQ or he just made himself look like a massive hypocrite. Do you guys remember this clip? If I'm going to fight, I'll just keep quiet. I'll just keep quiet. So Ankalaev sought him out, okay? It's like, you claiming that I'm hiding from you? The fuck is wrong with you? And what did Pereira say in this clip that he handpicked to release? Because he's promoting his YouTube channel, because he's on his way out the fucking door. Because Ankalaev retired him at 313. And it would not shock me if he pulled out a 320. Anyway, Mr. I'll keep quiet and I'll let my mitts do the talking. Now, he did embarrass Jamal Hill at the PI because Jamal was talking shit. And Pereira said, here's the gloves. Here's the gloves. But Pereira's saying, you're hiding from me. You're scared of me. If I'm going to beat you up or I'm going to try to hit you, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do it. And now what is he here doing? He's talking shit through Google Translate. I'm going to slap you. I'm going to hit you.
Vou bater em você. Vou bater de mão aberta. Na sua cara.
And by the way, let me pause this right here. Have you ever seen a man... Let me zoom in here. Let me just zoom in here. Have you ever seen a man less intimidated? And look at Ankalaev. Have you ever seen somebody less intimidated in your entire life? Look at this. Look at this. He could not even be bothered right now. He's got his hand on his head. I wish you guys could see me right now. Hold on. Imagine Pereira walking up to you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to punch you in the face. Oh, really? So, I mean, Ankalaev couldn't look less bothered here, okay? He could not look less... I've never seen a man look less intimidated than Ankalaev looks right now. Now, the next clip I'm going to show you. I'm not sure who this was released by, but it's been put out. It's another 20-second clip of the confrontation. Ankalaev sought him out for lying about him. So I'm scared of you, so now I'm going to seek you out and call you out on your shit, and you're not going to do anything. So I'm scared of you. You're crying online trying to get YouTube views, and now you're not going to do anything when I call you out to your face. He really got embarrassed here.
То же самое, не нужно словами бросаться. Мы ожидаем что-то от кадря-бой. Давайте сделаем это в ринге. Зачем говорить пустые?
I mean, have you seen somebody less intimidated right now than Ankalaev? He does not give a fuck.
Eu não falei nada, ele sempre falou. Eu nunca falei nada, ele sempre falou. E agora, quando chegou frente a frente, é cuzão.
And now, when he shows up in front of me, he's a coward. Which maybe this is a little bit mistranslated, but you get the point. Ankalaev says, we're fighting soon. Why the empty words? The one pass I will give Alex Pereira. The UFC has refused to promote UFC 320. There has been no promotion for this event. Bald Dana, bald Mr. Krabs, has refused to do his job and promote this fight. So I'll say, you know what? Pereira's trying to drum up some interest. This is going to be one of his final paychecks because he's on his way out the door. That's why he's promoting his YouTube. But it's like, dude, you're just talking all this shit. We're going to fight in a couple weeks anyway. So why are you lying on my name? Let me call you out to your face. And Pereira says, you're the one that's talking. Well, I've already showed you he's not really said much of anything. I mean, he's talking about Dean Thomas, and he's responded since, and maybe he's taken a couple subtle jabs that I haven't seen somewhere. It's possible. Also, this is a tweet I didn't read. Just for all the fans out there, for the last 2 months, I make my own tweets. ChatGPT and Google Translate is best. Which, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know if he's posting these tweets on his own or what. Ankalaev is actually a smart guy. I can tell that from different things I've seen. But then you get called out to your face. Called out to your face and you have nothing to say. Now, there's one more clip I want to show you from the actual supposed altercation. Okay? Because Pereira's teasing the entire thing for social media. Again, look at here. Look at it here. Full video soon on my YouTube channel. Ankalaev embarrasses him here, and Pereira just sits there like a cuck. Watch this. There's no audio to this. No audio. But look, Ankalaev just stands up, points to the ground. Yeah, say something now, bitch. But he doesn't do nothing. Remember, he's going to hit him. He's going to slap him in the face. Let me just ask you this. Does this man right here look like a man that's scared of Pereira? Now, Pereira doesn't look very intimidated either. Okay, we can say that. He's sitting here. But he sits there, and he's not matching the energy here. I guarantee if Pereira jumped up and started acting like this, Ankalaev would embarrass him. Pereira said he hid from him, and he's scared, and now he's standing right in front of him, and Pereira's not saying shit. Saying absolutely nothing. Now, one of the last things I want to show you, because honestly, this just shows me all these teasers for his YouTube channel. Pereira knows he's going to lose the rematch if he shows up. Again, I still have my doubts. And he's just kind of setting up his retirement, which is probably going to be some freak show boxing matches, would be my guess. Maybe a failed attempt at the heavyweight division because the heavyweight division sucks. So maybe he fights a bum up at heavyweight. But Pereira knows this is one of his last big paydays. And so he's trying to capitalize on his quote-unquote star power. You know, people act like he's some mega star. Never was, never will be. He's a big name in MMA for hardcores. He's not some massive star. People have perverted that term. But all that talking all that shit, and then when the dude comes to you and says, well, why are you saying this? Instead of, you know, standing up for himself, he just really has nothing to say other, you were the one talking crap. Now, the last thing I want to show you is a clip of Magomed Ankalaev. This was him after all of this. Listen to this.
It's a very interesting story because the other day I was doing like some physical therapy, like a massage, and then after I finished, I came out. I was told that Pereira was there, but I didn't see him. And then the next day, I see a video come out where he says that I was hiding and stuff like that, which is not true. And I was a little angry when I saw the video. So then when I saw him today, I approached him. I said, hey, when did I see you, or when did you see me? It never happened. And to which he answered, he said, oh, there was one girl who told me that you were there, but, you know, he switched the topic, you know.
So basically, Pereira had nothing to say. He made up a lie to try to make Ankalaev look scared, even though all logic makes absolutely no sense, considering he stepped in the cage with you for 5 rounds and you did absolutely nothing. He signed on the dotted line to step in the cage with you again. So why would he ever in any realm be scared of you? And then he confronted you to your face about it, and you didn't do anything other than promote your YouTube channel because you know you're on your way out of the UFC. Really sad. And I'll end with this, guys, because I have some behind-the-scenes information about some injuries heading into UFC 320. And I wasn't going to say this, but I figured, you know what? I'll hide it at the end of a 20, 30-minute video. And maybe people see it. Maybe they don't because maybe they clicked off halfway through. So I'll give it, for the people who stayed all the way to the end, I'm going to break down some injury news for UFC 320 that isn't public knowledge. And we have it here. I have it typed out right here. And of course, it's not loaded up here. Magomed Ankalaev is such a savage for staying in UFC 320, in the UFC 320 fight. Or our main event is what I should have said. I have it on good authority. He has 2 fractured hands, a broken orbital, 2 sprained ankles, staph infection, a torn quad, and ACL. He's also recovering from flu and COVID. What a true champion Big Ank is. I figured since Pereira makes a bunch of excuses after the fact and Joe Rogan covers for him and says, oh, he had this and he had that, and he was injured, and that's why he didn't fight at all at UFC 313. I figured I'd preemptively make a bunch of excuses for Ankalaev before he goes out there and whoops Pereira just to make it look more impressive. So this is a laundry list per sources. This is 100% real. It's not fake at all. Let me know what you guys think. I genuinely believe Pereira just looks like a dumbass in all this, but he's clearly just promoting his YouTube channel because he knows he is at the tail end of his career. He is a habitual liar now. Lied about Ank hiding. Lied about the tweet saying he got hacked. And now he just really looks dumb because Ankalaev said, oh, you're lying about me. Let me call you out to your face. And you'll do nothing. I guess we'll see the rest of it tomorrow, boys. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.